Welcome to the Bomber Strap YouTube review channel. I have with me a Baofeng. This thing is awesome. We're going to talk about radio communication and why it's important, whether you're mountain biking or off-roading. So I'm going to break this up. This is strictly informational. I want to break this up into categories of use. So there's a lot of great videos about radios. Radio is part of American culture. We have music related to radios. I'm on a Mexican radio. We have awesome movies related to radios.
Red Rover, let Ray go over.
So radio and radio culture is awesome. It's huge. But hey, look, YouTube has a ton of great videos regarding radios, but not too many people will break it down into their specific uses, which is what I want to do today. Specific use of radios and what you need to know. So let me break it down by activity. Let's say you and your buddies are going to go build a mountain bike trail, or you're going to do some mountain bike maintenance, right? But let's say it's in the Santa Cruz Mountains, or let's say it's way deep in the wilderness where there's no cell coverage, and this trail is huge, and you're going to work on different parts of it. Having a walkie-talkie, probably the best form of communication, because it'll work off direct line of sight communication. They're cheap, inexpensive. You can get them damaged. You can buy a bunch of them. You can all use the same ones and have great communication. So this is general CB radio. Now that's great for trail building, right? But what happens if you get out of direct line of sight communication? Meaning that, let's say you're in a heavily wooded area or you're in the mountains and your buddies are on the other side of the hill. In this example, what I would refer you to is GMRS radio. This is a different type of band of communication. It covers the 462 megahertz range to 467 megahertz range. This is important because within this range, you have this type of band coverage, right? And you'll have good propagation. But furthermore, GMRS allows you to connect to repeaters. Now, repeaters are basically towers that will take your signal, change the frequency slightly different, and relay that message to somebody, let's say, that's on the other side of the hill. So it'll propagate your message, which is really important and help you overcome obstacles or boundaries. Now, this is really ideal. It's good for maybe the mountain biking community as well as the off-roading community. If you're going to use GMRS, you have to register with the FCC. It's a $35 fee. You pay it, your whole family's covered, and you'll also get a call sign. That's awesome and important. In fact, I did that too. I did it even though I didn't need to. I just wanted to go through the process, and I got my call sign here on this piece of paper. So boom, I did it, registered with the FCC. Cool, GMRS is awesome. Awesome radios, relatively inexpensive. Let's say you want to take it to the next level. Let's say you're big into off-roading, mountain biking. Maybe we're not talking about that really. We're talking about more off-roading community, off-roading culture. Get a ham radio license. Here's why. Ham radio license will allow you to communicate on the 70 centimeter band along with the 2 meter band and other bands that allow for the propagation of your signal to go much further for two-way communication. This is cool because having a strong signal in heavily wooded areas is awesome. But above and beyond that, getting your ham radio license or technician class radio license is important because then you will have access to things like DSTAR, DRMS. These are digital forms of communication. Cool. Of their own nature, unique, cool. They will allow you to communicate digitally further out. But let's talk about like analog communication. Having access to these bands that allow for your propagation signal to go out further and longer is totally awesome. That's what you want if you're going off-roading. Furthermore, another important feature to include in whatever radio you're looking at buying, identify whether or not that radio has APRS. APRS allows you to track different people that also have APRS. So if you're traveling with a group off-roading, you can keep track of each other. You could separate from that group, but still keep progress on where everybody's at and also allow for messaging. Why is this important? Well, don't we have GPS? Yeah, but GPS and GPS monitors and text messaging, they're cool, but they're also expensive. We're talking about alternative forms of communication. And what's really special about this more or less antiquated form of communication via analog is that it's cool because it doesn't require cell service. I like that. APRS is different because it allows GPS monitoring of where you're at via the radio system. APRS is huge. It's something you need for off-roading. I don't have mine set up yet, but it's something I plan on doing. So there you have it. There I broke it down. We have CB communication for trail maintenance, mountain biking, and even some off-roading. GRMS, which covers a certain band signal, which you do register with the FCC to get your call sign, which is great because you can still connect to repeaters, which will allow your signal to propagate. And then lastly, we have the technician class radio license, which allows you to get your own call sign, which is something I went out and did. So ham radio prep is a great course. You prep for it, you take the exam, you pass, you get your call sign. Mine is KK7 VRE or Kilo 7 Victor Romeo Echo. Absolutely love the name. So cool. So if you want to dive deep into the technical aspect of communication, go out and get your ham radio license or your technician class radio license. You will discover this wild world of technical stuff, which is super, super cool. You could dive very deep or you could stay really shallow and just focus on analog communication. It's really endless and there's levels to the learning. So don't get anxious if you don't know something. There are a number of different resources you can access, especially on YouTube. There's some great people doing amazing work out there in terms of propagating the usefulness of radio information and how to access really cool features on your radio. Again, this is a Baofeng. I learned early on this is the radio to have, but later on I found out that this is just entry class. My next radio will be a YAESU, and then I'll just keep going with it because learning is incremental. You don't want to stress yourself out and try to dive deep into APRS or DSTAR or something like that initially. Start out slow, work your way up. That's what I found out. Tons of useful classes on YouTube. I'll leave some examples in the link below. And again, hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like and subscribe. I hope you found this useful. And again, look forward to seeing you guys soon on the trail or off-roading. All right, that wraps up a very long episode on radios. I hope you stuck with me and enjoyed this particular talk. There's lots of places that we could have taken the conversation in regards to radios, but again, I broke it up into categories of use. I hope you found that helpful. If you have questions about what I showed you guys today, please like and subscribe and send a comment my way. It'd be awesome to hear from you and address your questions. Anyway, that's it. Don't forget, the Bomber Strap is the only single mountain bike tailgate pad that will take your mountain bike anywhere you need to go. It's awesome for traveling or in-town use. My name is Will with the Bomber Strap. That concludes this episode. Until next time, see you.